Hello and welcome to the 6th round of the NXTGEN Racing's Mazda MX5 Cup here from the Red Bull Ring. It is going to be another fantastic evening of racing. It is a circuit similar in style to Monza with the long straights, the heavy braking zones, which means slipstream is going to play a massive effect here. Get those teams together, find your alliances now in practice so that you have somebody helping you out around your qualifying lap, because if you are going to be heading around this circuit without any support, it is going to be a very tricky time around a lap here. And with that support, you are going to be finding at least 8-9 of a second, maybe even a whole second with the support along the front straights, and of course the two long straights between turn 1 and turn 3, and between turns 3 and turns 4. Of course, nobody counts that small little kink to the left, turn number 2, but hey ho, it is officially turn number 2. So the heavy braking zones coming at 1, 3 and 4. We're going to see a good amount of overtaking opportunities through these corners as well, and we're going to be able to see some proper competitive action once again that we've been seeing all season long. 5 rounds completed here, 3 left to go, including tonight at Red Bull Ring. We head across to Thruxton next week on the 9th of December, and we finish off on the 16th of December at Mosport, the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. We are getting close to the end of this championship, and there has been a switch up in both the Pro and the Pro-Am standings at the end of the Aragon round. So let's have a first jump, a look at our Pro-Am standings heading into the 6th round in competition, and Alan McCain has returned back to the top of the standings there. However, it's key to see that he is not currently in the server, so hopefully he will be joining in the next 13 minutes or so when practice comes to a close. He might join during qualifying as well, but hopefully he will be here to defend his lead at the top of the championship standings, which he overtook from Phil McDougall after a poor running from McDougall last week, getting caught in a few incidents. A strong running until the last race for Michael Clough. He is in 14th position in the server right now, and he is sitting in a very nice 8th place, getting some good points to his name, hopefully looking for some more as the weekends go along and he can find his way up that championship order. It is Carl Thompson holding on just behind McDougall in 3rd position, and Cheverton just a couple more points back. 5th position right now is given to Nigel Stock. Adrian Fitch holds on to 6th, and Mark Sykes holds on to 7th, even after retiring out of the final race of the day last week. William Kirtler's there in 9th, and Sam Smith is 10th in the standings, but the fastest Pro-Am driver in the practice session right now. Of course, practice not going to be really meaning much if you aren't able to find that support in the qualifying session. Having a look then at the pro standings, and it is all change over there too. Kieran Sharp moves to the top of the championship order there with 218 points. He sits 15 points clear of 5-time race winner Adam Delmont. Kieran Sharp only taking 1 win so far this season, showing consistency really is important. Isaac Doble drops down to 3rd after getting involved in incidents in all 3 races last week, and that means he has a little bit of work to do. 37 points behind the championship leader as it stands. I'm trying to do maths on top of my head. It is 37. It is 37. I'm questioning myself. Mikey Doble sits in 4th in the championship right now. 3 points clear of Jamie Dory. They have been battling it out throughout this season. I'm sure that will continue again here tonight. Nick Clibbins is 6th in the championship. A bit on his own there, but I'm sure with some good results again, he could move up towards fighting Dory and Doble. Andrew Pike and Adam Wilson-Weir tied on 119 points apiece in 7th and 8th. Craig Twardock holds on to 9th, and Lee Horn is top 10 in the standings. One name you may have noticed has dropped out of the top 10 is Sam Spinale, disqualified from the rounds last week and will not be returning for the remainder of the season due to the instance that happened last week at Aragon. But that being said, the rest of the field are ready to head around this wonderful 2.68 mile circuit. 10 turns, only 3 of them kink to the left, and again, that's only if you count turn number 2, which I really don't. The rest of them all go to the right-hand side here in the Styrian Mountains, of course, and what a circuit this is as well. Of course, opening all the way back in 1969 as the Osterring, translated of course as the Austrian circuit, very inventive, but it unfortunately closed in 2004 in a state of disrepair when they were trying to upgrade to get Formula 1 to return. Unfortunately, it took a little bit of time before the circuit was repurchased and put back onto the calendar, and it is the circuit that we know and love today, the Red Bull Ring. Opening back in 2011, it has become a staple on the Formula 1 calendar, as well as across many leagues such as the German touring cars and virtual leagues such as the MX5s that we have here tonight as well. I hope that you are looking forward to this one, because I certainly am. It is going to be an absolutely great evening of racing, as these events always are. And something that I really like to do as well is talk through all of the stats and things that we have as I welcome you to the first time this season to the commentary booth here. The stats that I like to look at is race wins, poles, seeing what the drivers are able to do. We talk about consistency, the fact that Kieran Sharp is currently leading that Pro Championship, even though he has only taken one class win. We'll also look across at the Pro-Am category. Alan McCain leading the Pro-Ams. He's only taken 2 class wins, and they've both been very recent. The 3rd race at Long Beach was his first win of the season. The 2nd race last week at Aragon has been his 2nd win of the season. So it has been a long time coming for Alan McCain, but he's found himself in the lead of the championship earlier on in the season as well. So the consistency is there for him as well, and that's what's important in both of these championships. Adam Delmont, he's taken 5 wins so far this season. He managed to take his 4th and 5th win last week at Aragon in the 1st and 3rd race of the day. But will he be able to extend that today? The most wins that anyone else has been able to do in the Pro Championship so far is only 2. And a lot of drivers have been able to work up to 2 wins so far. Well, I say a lot. 2 other drivers have been able to do it. Isaac Doble and Nick Clibbins have both been able to find 2 wins this season. But that's as close as anyone's getting to Adam Delmont's 5 at the moment. Will that change today? Outside of wins, we look at the pole positions. The pole positions, and Sam Spinale was the man leading that. We won't see him on pole again, but he was tied with 2 pole positions along with Isaac Doble. Now, Doble has taken the last 2 pole positions back-to-back. It's the first time this season we've seen back-to-back pole sitters. Isaac Doble taking it at Long Beach, taking it last week at Aragon as well. Adam Delmont, he's fast in the races, he gets to the front in the races, but he's not always there in qualifying. Will he find a friend today in order to help push him up towards the front? Because he's never been far off of pole, but he's not quite made his way onto the very front of the grid. If that changes today, it really could help him into the first race of the day. Of course, the way that the event works means that our drivers are going to be starting race number 1 from their qualifying positions. Race number 2, however, is going to be the top 15 reversed, as long as those drivers are no more than 1 lap down. And in the final race of the day, it's the whole field reversed, again, as long as drivers are no more than 1 lap down, which means that even if you win race number 1, you've got to work your way back up there for race number 2. And so far this season, no driver has been able to win the first and second race, because it's quite far back that they're working from. Most of the time when we've seen drivers win the first and third race, which has happened twice. Sam Spinell doing that as Zandvoort before his final race win was taken away from him. And of course, Adam Delmont doing it last week. It's because the second race of the day did not go their way. Delmont, for example, last week, he got caught up in a couple of incidents in race number 2 that put him near the back of the field. On the full reverse grid, it meant that he was starting quite far up the order and he could take that double win. What it also does mean is it's not often that we've actually seen drivers take more than one win in a single evening. Delmont being the first driver to do that last week that stayed there. Spinell doing it at Zandvoort. Again, his second win was taken away from him and given to Adam Wilson-Weir. Delmont's the first time that anyone's been able to do it and hold those wins. Could it happen again today? Could we see another driver take 2 wins in one evening? It's going to be interesting, and I can't wait to find out how that is going to go here as we wait for the end of practice here. 5 minutes left to go, and right now it is Adam Delmont who is the fastest man out there in this practice session as it stands, and he'll be hoping to improve on how it has gone so far in qualifying for himself. He is the fastest man here in practice, but it is going to all be about how is he going to do in qualifying. Is he going to be able to find the teammate to work with and be able to work his way to the front of the field? That's going to be interesting. The weather here today, though, we aren't seeing any rain going to come your way. It should be sunny and clear all evening long, which means our drivers are not going to have to contend with any changeable conditions or any or any rain at all, which means that they should be going nice and easily as the evening goes on. Welcome to all of those joining and watching either on YouTube, Facebook, or on Twitch. And good evening once more to Roger and Angela watching along as well over there on Facebook. If you drop a comment on any of the 3 channels, be sure to say hello to you. And I hope you are looking forward to a great evening of racing, because I certainly am. The championship fight here really heating up as we head into the last 3 weeks of this season, and we head towards the end of 2025, and it's been a great season of racing at NXTGEN. It's been a great year of racing at NXTGEN, and it's not over yet. I was fortunate enough to get behind the wheel of one of these Mazdas in the practice session yesterday evening. It didn't quite go as planned, and there's a reason why I'm in the commentary booth, and I will say that I don't think I have made a friend in Michael Clough or Mikey Doble, who I unfortunately took out in the second race of the evening last night. I'm not out there today, though, and I won't be able to take anyone out, and they were racing a lot better than I was last night. So it should be a really great evening of racing and side-by-side action here in practice. It's just going to show you what it's going to be like in the race session. It is going to be drivers going side by side, 2, 3 wide consistently. We're going to be seeing a lot of drivers bump drafting, pushing each other, dropping behind to find the right angle. It is going to be a lot of team games, and it is going to see who is going to end up on top at the end of that race. And I don't think we're going to be able to tell who's going to win a race until we come out of that final corner, and even then we might not know until they've actually crossed the start-finish line. So it is going to be a great circuit for these cars. It always is in the Mazdas because they're so slow that they're always close together, and what that means is that it's hard for drivers to pull away. It creates constant fighting, and these drivers are extremely respectful of each other, getting right onto each other's doors, but making sure that they leave each other just enough room, and I really do mean just enough room to get around the circuit. And like I say, this circuit very reminiscent of the Monza that we had at the beginning of the season. It's a lot of toe, a couple of heavy braking zones, but for the most part it's stick behind the car in front of you, get that benefit. Even if you're slower here through the 3rd sector of the course, this is turn number 6 here, up into the left right of 7 and 8. Even if you're slightly slower here, get a good exit on 9, get a good run through 9, get a good exit on 10, you're back in the slipstream again, up towards turn number 1. Now, track limits here are going to make it tricky in qualifying. Drivers are going to have to make sure that they stay within the circuit. And it's a bit hit and miss here about what's inside track limits and what's not. That was very much inside track limits from all of those drivers there. However, just a millimetre, an inch wider, you will find yourself off the circuit. Turn number 1, very easy to get an off-track. We saw a lot of drivers get off-tracks there yesterday in practice. Going too far to the left, both of them would have got off-tracks there. Going too far to the left on the entry will also give you an off-track. 30 seconds left in this session then as drivers come around to finish this practice session, but this is going to be a great evening of racing. And once more, if you're just joining us, good evening. If you are watching over on the Facebook page, make sure you hit that like button across the stream, share it with your friends and family. If you're watching over on the YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button as well to show your support. And if you're watching over on the Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button as well. Right, practice up and done now, and we're going to prepare ourselves for the qualifying session. And can Adam Delmont replicate what he's just done in practice and find himself at the front of the qualifying order, and for the first time this season get a pole position? Turn number 3 is horrible for off tracks. However, if you get it slowed down, you won't run wide there. I think during qualifying, you're not going to worry too much about the off tracks to turn number 3. I think you're more going to worry about the off-track in turn number 1. I think in the race, you're definitely going to push yourself wide there. Drivers coming out of pit lane then, and you can just see this huge train of drivers as they leave the pit and they come up towards turn number 1. I promise you there are cars out there on the circuit. There they are. There certainly aren't just ghost cars. There they are all on the circuit there, and you can just see how packed it all is. Carl Thompson's going to get black flag. Now that is going to hinder him because he is not going to have anyone on the exit of the circuit here to find his way towards the front of the field. Right, up towards turn number 4, we are watching the drivers. This is Ben Oucher in the 504. That was number 4 of Adam Wilson Weir off the circuit there. Both of them have taken a 1 victory each this season. Adam Wilson Weir inheriting it in race number 3 at Zandvoort. Ben Oucher taking the victory on circuit in race number 2 at Zandvoort. So let's see how it goes here. This circuit, I think some of the corners, such as the this left, right of 7-8, similar to some of the layout at Zandvoort. So maybe this circuit will go their way. But of course, for the most part, it is going to be about who are you working with? Do you have the toe? When do you make the moves? Who do you sit in front of? Who do you follow? That's what's going to matter across the course of this evening. Yes, qualifying is going to help you be nearer the front, but even if you start at the back, if you get the right amount of toe, you avoid the instance and you don't allow the leaders to break away, you could find yourself towards the front there. We are going to go and have a look at Adam Delmont, who starts his flying lap here. He was fastest in practice. He has a train in front of him. However, he is going to get a driver sat on the racing line. That could have hindered him. That would have hindered him there, but he hasn't backed off of that one. I believe that possibly was James Parfitt who was sat on the racing line there. A slow next-gen car there, moves over to the right-hand side, gets out of the way of Delmont. Delmont getting a distance over here. Now that is going to be helping because it means that he isn't held up through the corners. I do think this lap is going to be a little bit slower for him because of turn number 1. However, this distance, though, rather than being right on the rear end, should be beneficial. Driver pulls over to the right there. Is he going to stay out of the way? Yes, he is. Giving one of the Dobles there a tow along the back straight and then backing out of it and making sure that he falls to the back of the line to get a tow on his following lap. Of course, it's a good thing to do, especially if you've invalidated your lap, is give the driver behind you the little bit of toe along the straights, back out of the way on the corners, and hopefully you'll be thinking that they will return the favour on the following lap. This is a corner you can push it wide and get an off-track 2 if you're not careful through the right-hander of 8 and up towards 9 and 10 now and again. As most of these corners are, you can push it wide, but not too wide. You can go over that green, as we've just seen Delmont do, but not much further than that. Making sure we don't run too wide at the final corner either, and that is lap time starting to be put on the board now. So let's have a look at what that is going to be as Delmont also crosses the line. Delmont does go provisional pole position by 0.5 of a second over Isaac Doble there. Doble also getting a nice distant toe ahead of him. Not by as many cars as Delmont was, but is getting that distant toe here. Delmont, though, taking full advantage on that opening up of the race, exactly where he wants to be after his first lap in qualifying. As we head up now towards turn number 4. I don't get why that kink is turn number 2, yet this kink here is not turn number 4. I don't understand that. But anyway, we get onto the brakes of turn number 4 here as we watch Isaac Doble head around. He has got, I believe that is Jamie Dory in front of him. It is Dory without a toe in front of him. Now, last week, these two boys worked together, and it was Doble who came out on top, but there was a little bit of an alliance between the two of them. Are we going to see the same here? Are we going to see Doble go past Dory here towards the end of the lap, and then Dory get the support next lap potentially? Because it does look like this is a double lap of toe from Doble, because Dory's lap time is extremely slow, and Dory still stays ahead, not getting the toe at the moment. Will that change at any point in qualifying? Both drivers behind Ben Oucher and Wilson Weir did get an off-track there. That was a valid lap corner from Isaac Doble there. Even though he pushed wide, that was valid. As Doble now goes past Dory, Dory will now sit behind and will stay behind on the next lap. Doble did not improve. It was invalidated earlier on in the lap for Doble, not where we just caught onto him. And then Mikey Doble has gone into 4th position right now. Mikey Doble not getting the season really that he wanted. He is sitting 4th in the championship, though, just ahead of Jamie Dory, and the two of them are fighting out for those points, of course. Isaac Doble fighting out for the lead of the championship, but right now is Adam Delmont, 2nd in the championship, who leads here at the moment. Kieran Sharp, who is the Pro Championship leader, sits in 13th position right now and almost 2 seconds off the pace. That's showing you the importance of a good toe. Jamie Dory is going to get a good toe on the next lap, that's for sure. This lap a little bit slow, and Kieran Sharp is the front of a very long train of drivers, so that is why he is not able to find the time out there at the moment, is because he is the one punching through the air to allow the drivers behind to get their lap times in. And Sharp will be wanting to have someone in front of him, surely. Might move out the way to let some of these drivers through as Clibbins goes for an well, it's a lap time that's certainly not going to be a lap time that we can count, really. 8.8 seconds off. He's certainly slowed down, let a few drivers through and looking for the toe. In fact, I think he is at the back end of a train now. This train, I believe, actually. Is that Clibbins at the back end of this train? Yes, he is. He has gone to the back of a train of drivers now, so he'll be looking to get a toe next time around, or possibly even this time. Could be a good lap for him. Right, Kieran Sharp coming up towards the end of the lap. Gavin Gardner improves up into 8th. Adrian Fritsch improves up into 11th, knocking Jamie Dory down to 12th, but Dory is going to get a toe this time around. And once again, Kieran Sharp is leading this train of drivers. He's not dropping behind it. Is that going to be the right call to make? I'm going to say no. Nick Clibbins, who dropped to the very back of this train of drivers, has just found his way into 3rd position, showing the importance of the toe. That is where you want to be, is behind somebody. Jamie Dory now behind Isaac Doble. Is this going to be a lap for him inside the top 5? It could potentially be. Dory currently sitting in a 14th position. It says 10th. I need to change that to overall position and not class position. Jamie Dory is sitting in 14th position right now, 1.7 seconds off of Adam Delmont's time. Delmont has found almost 4 tenths over anyone else in the field, and this could potentially be his first pole position of the season. It could have taken him 6 rounds to do it, but he is looking strong out there right now. Into the final 2 corners, Dory has followed for 1 lap time that was not a great lap time because he slowed down at the beginning of the lap. Will he follow for a 2nd lap after this one, or will Doble stay ahead? He is going to continue following. Can Dory find time with that one? He does. He moves into 9th position, 0.777 of Delmont. He needs to find about 3 more tenths of a second if he wants to go in behind Doble at the front of this field, but they will continue to head around at the moment and see what they are going to be able to do and improve. Zara McGuinness running around on her own at the moment as well in 18th position, so you can see that gaggle of cars in front, but she's not quite there. Craig Twardock was in a gaggle behind and has gone 6th position right now. Mikey Doble was in that gaggle that Zara McGuinness could see. He's 2nd in this train of drivers that currently has 5 of them in. You can see McGuinness just in the distant background there, not quite and close enough to even get a distant tow. In these machines, they punch a hole through the air, but certainly nowhere near as much as they want, as both that was Delmont and Doble off the circuit there. Adam Delmont drops to the back of this train of drivers now. Does he decide enough is enough in the qualifying session with 5 minutes on the board? Mikey Doble now to the front of this field, but this lap is invalid for him because he got onto that gravel as well. Michael Croft has done a fantastic job. He's moved into 4th position right now. Said that he was doing quite well last week as well. It was race number 3 that it went wrong for him, but he was having a good race, good event last week. He's currently leading the Pro-Am standings. Sam Smith currently 2nd in the Pro-Ams, and Phil McDougall, looking to try and move back into the lead of the championship, is currently 3rd in class. That is important because Alan McCain is 10th in class. He's the Pro-Am championship leader, so if McDougall can have a consistent podium sweep, which he has done, or very close to doing before, he could find himself back on the top of the Pro-Am Championship. 3.5 minutes left to go in this session. Adam Delmont is running around. That is Mikey Doble, who has dropped to the back of this field. They're certainly not in the train as much as they were before, as that is Ben Oucher currently running around behind Wilson Weir. Now, Oucher is without a valid lap on the board. So is Lee Horn. Mark Sykes and Craig Jones have not come out onto the circuit here. They don't have time to put in a qualifying lap right now, which means that, well, actually, do they? I mean, they do if they came out right this second, but I don't think they're going to. So Mark Sykes and Craig Jones will be starting from the very rear of this field, and right now it is Adam Delmont at the top. Like I say, he is looking for his first pole position of the season. If he can do that, it'll place him in a perfect opportunity to take his 6th win of the season. However, Sam Spinell is the only driver so far this season who has converted a pole position into a race 1 victory. He did that at Zandvoort. So if Delmont does find himself on pole here, will the unfortunate run for the pole sitter in race number 1 continue, or will he finally be able to take a victory from the pole position spot? Let's wait and find out. This is Ben Oucher coming across the timing line behind Wilson Weir, Lee Horn just behind. Is it going to be a valid lap for Ben Oucher this time? It is. It places him in 16th position. Lee Horn also gets in a valid lap, and that is enough for 6th position. So 2 drivers without times on the board have found their way up the order here. 27 times on the board. 2 drivers who won't be putting in lap times as Michael Knopf goes around at the end of his lap there. What happened? Just lost on the rear end, pushing hard. And if you gear down in the Mazda just a little bit too late, you will find yourself out of control like that. Now, Nick Clibbins sits behind Isaac Doble, but by less than 0.04 of a second. Unfortunately for him, he has nobody in front of him. Now, if he pulls over to the side, which is exactly what he's doing now, he should be able to fire. Oh, is that his teammate ahead that could potentially give him a tow here? He is looking to try and find a space out there to improve on his 3rd position spot, as he does have a teammate sitting directly in front of him. The teammate backs out of the way though, and now it is a very distant tow here for Nick Clibbins, as it is another teammate sat out there, but it looks like Clibbins is not going to be able to get the tow that he was probably hunting for. Doble does have a good tow here from their partner Jamie Dory. They have put together a little bit of an alliance with each other, as it looks like that was backing out there. Isaac Doble backed out. Now Jamie Dory has moved to the right, so they're going to go on to 1 more lap. They'll have just enough time to start this lap, and Doble is going to leave Dory on this one. Dory sitting down in 11th position. Are they going to get across the lap at the time? I don't think Dory did. I don't think Jamie Dory got across in time. He is still pushing though. And he is pushing hard, so I think this is potentially still a lap time for him. Let's see if we can get. It does look like a valid lap for Jamie Dory here, as we head up now towards turn number 3. And Dory getting pulled along here by Isaac Doble. Doble has taken second, but with drivers coming across our the timing line now, it does look like Adam Delmont is going to take his first pole position of the season. It has taken him to the 6th round of asking to get his first pole position after taking 5 race victories so far. Can he convert that into a race 1 win? We're still on board with Jamie Dory here, and as we go around, it is in fact going to be, by the looks of it, an invalid lap for Jamie Dory. It doesn't look like it is an improvement because his lap times are not counting in the sectors, so Jamie Dory missing out at the very end there to get onto a new lap, which is a shame for him. Jamie Dory will not be able to improve, as we have a look around as well. Most drivers now down pit lane, and Adam Delmont's going to cross the line without a tow. It's not going to be an improvement, but he doesn't need an improvement. Adam Delmont is on pole position for the first time this season, and he has done it here, the 6th round of asking around the Red Bull Ring. That is qualifying here done and dusted. We will get the grid up for you in just 1 moment's time, as we are going to see how the race begins when they get themselves onto the grid for this one. 30 more seconds technically left in qualifying here, but nobody out there improving on their times. This is how it is going to end. So drivers then will be preparing for race number 1 of the day. We will talk through the grid in just a moment's time when they start to grid up. But Adam Delmont taking his first pole of the season could look at taking his 6th win of the season. Or will another driver out there take their first win? Jamie Dory still looking for his first win. He's a bit too far back from there. Kieran Sharp could look for his 2nd win here. He has taken 2nd on that very last lap that he was running around in, so he will start from the front row of the grid, and that happened literally at the very, very end of that qualifying session. He was the only man still out there running on a green lap. So with that being said then, It will be Adam Delmont from the pole position spot here. Kieran Sharp will start from second. Isaac Doble will start directly behind Delmont in third, with Nick Clibbins in fourth position. Mikey Doble will start behind his brother in fifth. Michael Clough will be leading the Pro-Am field off the line here in sixth position. Seventh position is going to go the way of Lee Horn. Eighth position is going to go to Craig Twardock ahead of Tom Davidson. Sam Smith will round out in 10th position. 11th position will be for Andrew Pike. 12th will be Jamie Dorey. 13th position is going to be starting for Adam Wilson. We're ahead of Phil McDougall. 15th position is for Gavin Gardner ahead of Ben Oucher. Adrian Fitch will start in 17th ahead of Mark Hughes. Zara McGuinness will start in 19th and Andy Outhouse in 20th. The rest of your field will have Nigel Stock ahead of Leslie Brazil, Carl Thompson and Matt Gatter, Alan McCain, William Kirtler, James Parfitt. Then with a space on the grid in 28th, we'll see Mark Sykes and Craig Jones at the back of the field. We are preparing ourselves here then for the first race of the evening. 3 races coming your way, 2 shorter races of about 15 minutes in length. It's going to be 9 laps to ask in the first 2 races, and the final race of the day, that third race, will be about 25 minutes of asking, which around here then will probably be about, I'm going to guess now, 15 or 16 laps. Okay, I'm going 16. That's what I'm going with. Let's see what it's going to be. I'm guessing 16. Right, drivers have found their way onto the grid. Here is Adam Delmont on pole position. He's on the right-hand side of our screens. It's the left-hand side of the circuit. It will be the outside to turn number 1. However, it is the racing line. Turn number 1 is going to be tricky for all of our drivers to get through. Of course, they will take advantage of those off tracks, push themselves wide if they need to. But if you push yourself too far wide, you will get a slowdown. So you don't want to do that. 9 laps on the board then. Let's see how we get away from this one. The drivers launch for the 6th round of the season here. Race number 1 underway. Andy Outhouse has jumped the start, will fall down the order. Adam Delmont will lead up towards turn number 1. Kieran Sharp following behind. In fact, the top 5 or 6 there, all settling through without going too wide into turn 1. It's probably your best way of getting through the opening corner here, as drivers already looking to get that toe as we head on towards the braking zone of turn number 3. Delmont leading the way, Kieran Sharp just behind, Isaac Doble in third. It's the top 3 in the championship in your top 3 positions at the start of this race. Changes behind as Adrian Fitch gets up the inside of Mark Hughes. Leslie Brazil going around the outside there of Nigel Stock as we now head towards turn number 4. It's side by side between Hughes and Fitch. Kieran Sharp for a moment there looked towards the inside, couldn't quite do it. Fitch now on the inside of Mark Hughes will take 17th position if he can hold it on the inside line of turn number 4. He certainly has. There is a spin behind a number of cars involved in that one. Some heavy damage, including to Leslie Brazil there at the back of the order. Carl Thompson has got some damage. Matt Gatter has got some damage, as well as the leading drivers all had through some some gravel being kicked up. But this is Michael Clough leading Lee Horn here. A number of drivers between the pros and between Clough and the rest of the Pro-Ams. Sam Smith running second in class right now as we head up through the final couple of corners up towards this leading fight, which is 5 drivers led on the opening lap by Adam Delmont. Kieran Sharp in second position ahead of Isaac Doble. Nick Clibbins is in fourth, and here goes Sharp to the inside of Adam Delmont for the lead in this race. They're side by side. It's a little bit of a wobble from Sharp on the exit. Isaac Doble moves to the left. That's to the right hand side goes Nick Clibbins. It's going to be 3 wide as Mikey Doble goes to the left and follows his brother Isaac through. Isaac wanting to tuck behind Delmont there. It's not going to work. The brothers are going to push each other on the left hand side of the circuit. Isaac Doble moves into the lead of the race. Mikey Doble moves into second. It's 3 wide behind as Sharp is on the outside of Delmont. Clibbins on the inside. Clibbins goes to the inside of Mikey Doble as well. well, but Doble keeps it ahead. Clibbins up to third position. Adam Delmont down to fourth. Side by side with Michael Clough. Kieran Sharp has dropped behind that position, down into sixth now as we head up towards turn number 4. Isaac Doble leading the way as we get onto the brakes. It's to the inside of Delmont goes Michael Clough, and the pole sitter. Once again, the bad luck has come to him, but it is 3 wide on the exit. Clough on the outside here, on the inside here. It's Delmont on the outside. It will switch around now to swap them back over. Clibbins in the middle of that train and in that fight, and it is a little bit of wobble from Clibbins, and he catches Michael Clough there. Clibbins just a small wobble on the rear end, and Michael Clough, the race leader in the Pro-Ams, goes down to the back of the running order of the drivers that are yet to get involved in a racing accident. Mikey Doble pushing Isaac at the front here. Are we going to see the brothers working together to pull themselves away, or are they going to fight? Kieran Sharp looks to the inside of Tom Davidson in towards the final 2 corners. Doesn't work out. Behind though, Lee Horn and Andrew Pike are side by side. Pike has got the inside of Horn, and on the exit there, Jamie Dory's got the speed, but he's not got anyone pushing him. He's got nobody pulling him either as we head up towards turn number 1. Jamie Dory is going to be on the inside line here as we head towards turn number 1. Jamie Dory has to settle in behind Andrew Pike, but does stay ahead of Lee Horn on the exit. That's Sam Smith looking to try and now get past Lee Horn as well and get into the top 10. Again, the brothers working together at the front there, but Adam Delmont is closing in towards them, so they're not pulling away. Side by side here between Lee Horn and Sam Smith. Smith to the inside, Horn on the outside. Smith is leading that Pro-Am field right now, but that grey car of Adrian Frutch is second in the Pro-Am field. Gavin Gardner trying to get through now on the left-hand side. It will be the wide way around turn number 4, but he has already got that overlap, and he does move through into 11th position, 12th position there for Sam Smith. But he'll just be wanting to hold the lead of this one, with the fact that his competitor Michael Clough has dropped down to 4th in class. To be fair, Clough could have done a lot worse for himself. He is very, very close to the back of Alan McCain, his championship, the championship leader in the Pro-Am field. So Clough is almost onto the podium in this race. Mikey Doble still following Isaac Doble around as they head up towards the end of the lap. Adam Delmont not wanting to let them get too far away as we head up towards the final 2 corners. In fact, he hasn't let them get away at all, even though they were working together. Mikey and Isaac not fighting each other. The rest of that train at the front of this field have closed right back on. 3 laps are already done here around the Red Bull Ring. 6 more to go as we head up towards turn number 1. You can see that pack battling for 8th position behind. It is Craig Twardock just off the rear end of this leading fight right now as we go through turn number 1. Michael Clough has made his way past Alan McCain. He's managed to do that heading up towards the end of the lap, and what that does is it puts Clough into 14th position, but it does put him 3rd in class. Top 15 are going to be reversed for race number 2. So right now Clough is going to be in a good position for that one, as there's a fight going on the exit of turn number 3 there for this lead fight, and Delmont was momentarily up to 2nd, now under attack from Nick Clibbins. Clibbins made that move. Kieran Sharp looking to get past Tom Davidson as well, because Sharp wants to get back up this order if he is able to. Heading into turn number 4, that's Delmont to the inside of Clibbins. Clibbins picks up a little bit of gravel side by side between Sharp and Davidson as well. Sharp on the outside is going to switch around to the inside line, as it has done for Clibbins on his fight with Delmont, but Delmont has got a good amount of overlap. Is able to hold on to 3rd position. Davidson stuck on the outside of Sharp there. Sharp's going to get the inside once more. Kieran Sharp confirms 5th position for the time being. Tom Davidson down to 6th, but there's a little bit of gravel there. Davidson goes a little bit wide, trying to avoid the slower Sharp there. Here comes Craig Twardock as well, trying to take advantage of Sharp's mistake. He looks to the inside of turn number 9, just has to give enough room on the outside. Tucks in though, and Twardock has got past Davidson now for 6th position in this race as they head across the timing line as we go on to the 5th lap of Asking now. It is black flag for Matt Gatter. He's already got major front end damage, but he will have to come down pit lane to serve that penalty. As he does so now, we go back towards this leading fight as we head up towards turn number 3, and Mikey Doble is going to look for the lead on Isaac Doble, and is that going to be Adam Delmont trying to make this 3 wide into the braking zone? Delmont backs out of it. Isaac's got the inside, Mikey on the outside, but can Delmont get the speed to take second position off of Mikey Doble? He can't. Isaac moves to the left of the circuit as well, getting the push now from the brother, but here comes Mikey once again to the left-hand side. Isaac holds the inside. Adam Delmont, he looks for a moment to go 3 wide once more as Kieran Sharp gets to the outside and Nick Clemens behind. Delmont has got to the inside of Mikey Doble. It's side by side once more for this fight that is going on. We head into turn number 6, and Mikey Doble's got the inside. Delmont's stuck on the outside line there. Sharp is on the inside of Clibbins behind as well. Clibbins goes for the later break there to try and hold that position behind, and it looks like he is going to be able to do that as they head up now towards the very end of this lap. They'll appear into shot. Isaac Doble ahead, Mikey Doble in second, and it looks like the train behind settles themselves down. Kieran Sharp down in 6th, and once again as Tom Davidson all over the rear, but they're going to head out of the final turn now and up towards the timing line. Wipers going for Mikey Doble as Delmont is getting pushed along by Nick Clibbins now as we're on the 6th lap of Asking already here. Adam Delmont on the rear end of Mikey Doble as is now Jamie Dory leading the train of drivers behind in 8th position. They're all pushing each other, trying to work their way to the front of this field if they're possible. Delmont now to the outside, and once again it's 3 wide with Mikey Doble in the middle. Isaac Doble on the inside. Delmont and Mikey, a little bit of a touch there. Here comes Clibbins. Here comes Twaddock and Sharp. It is 4 wide behind. They settle down to 3 wide, settle down to 2 wide. But Isaac Doble, once again, is going to be inside of Mikey Doble. Delmont goes for the middle. There's a little bit of a touch. Is he going to have to hold it on the middle? No, he doesn't. But Mikey Doble hung out to dry on the outside there. Adam Delmont moves into second. Mikey Doble getting pushed now by Nick Clibbins. But it's Craig Twaddock who's moved up the inside and over past Mikey Doble. That was Clibbins tucking behind Twaddock for just a moment. It's not worked out for him because he is now under attack from Tom Davidson, who has made his way past as well. And Kieran Sharp at the back of this one as we go off the circuit there for Nick Clibbins. He's going to come back on as that was Davidson giving him more than enough room. Sharp's there as well. But here comes Mikey Doble to try and get back up the inside of Adam Delmont here as we head into the final 2 corners on the lap. Delmont stuck on that wider line, but it does get themselves settled through turn at number 9 into turn number 10 and now up towards the timing line. Isaac Doble leading, Adam Delmont. Doble moving to the inside there. What a terrible camera shot as it is side by side between the leading 2 drivers. Doble is going to hold on to the lead of this one. Delmont slightly wider there. He's going to have Mikey Doble behind now. Delmont has no one pushing him. The 2 Dobles on the right-hand side being pushed by Twaddock, Davidson and Sharp. Clibbins just behind. But Delmont is all on his own here, but he's got the speed, and they are going to be able to go side by side into the braking zone of turn number 3. Delmont once again on the outside of Mikey Doble. Isaac Doble still leading this race as we head out of turn 3. Delmont's had a great corner there and is going to be able to get it alongside Isaac Doble. Davidson alongside Mikey Doble behind as well. Delmont momentarily takes the lead, but he is stuck on the outside. Can he carry the speed on that wider line? He can, if he can just keep it there through turn number 5. He will be on the inside in turn 6. He doesn't quite have a wheel in though. Mikey Doble on the outside. Is Delmont going to go to the inside? He certainly is. And Isaac can't close that door, having to run the slightly wider line. Mikey Doble, though, wants to try and get to the inside of Delmont, and it's almost 3 wide as they go through turn number 7, but they settle themselves just about into single file. Isaac Doble goes defensive up towards the final 2 turns, doesn't want to be hung out to dry on the outside, as it is side by side, once more behind between Twadok and Sharp. Delmont looking to try and get that wider line. He's still holding it in there on the outside of Isaac Doble as they appear from the trees. Delmont does not have the speed on the exit there in this 7-car fight for the race win as we head on to the penultimate lap here and up towards turn number 1. Once again, Delmont to the outside of Isaac Doble here. He is going to carry more speed. He bumps over the sausage curb. He'll be hoping that isn't a slowdown. It doesn't look like it is. And he cuts across into the lead of the race. Isaac Doble now under attack from Mikey Doble as they head up towards the braking zone for turn number 3. It is going to run side by side. This time Delmont on the inside of Mikey Doble. Davidson has got past Isaac Doble but cannot hold it as well on that outside line. So it is going to remain 2 by 2 by 2 here as we head up towards turn number 4. Mikey Doble does move into the lead, blocks Delmont for just a moment, weaving, trying to lead the front of that field. He goes extremely defensive. It's 3 wide once again for the lead, and it is Tom Davidson trying to hang it on the outside. It's 4 wide on the exit, and it is going to be side by side between the brothers with Tom Davidson on the inside. Tom Davidson is in the perfect position to take the lead of this race, and he certainly is. Isaac Doble drops down the order, and that train of cars that's been following behind, that goes all the way down to 13th, is now fully involved in this one as we come up to the white flag lap. But it is Tom Davidson leading the way. Mikey Doble in second. Doble looks to the inside of Davidson here. It is side by side between Sharp and Delmont behind. Isaac Doble gets back up the inside of Nick Clibbins. It's still side by side between Delmont and Sharp. Sharp's got the inside line over Delmont here as we head up towards the timing line. Delmont's got no one pushing him. Isaac moves across to the left there. He's going to push his championship rival to try and gain a couple of positions here as we now enter the white flag lap. Mikey Doble leading this race. That is going to try to carry the speed on the outside from Adam Delmont. A wobble there from Kieran Sharp. Isaac Doble able to hold the speed on the outside. Twadok and Clibbins side by side behind as well, as this has invited so many cars into it, and Jamie Dorey now to the outside looking to try and take full advantage of what's going on. Davidson and Doble alternating positions out the front there. Doble's got a slight wobble on the exit though, and this is going to give Tom Davidson a huge opportunity. Side by side between Dorey and Clibbins behind. Tom Davidson moves to the outside as we head down towards turn number 4. Is he going to be able to hold it on the outside line? It's a long way around. We've not seen it work out so far. It's not going to work out again, but he is keeping a wheel in for the time being. Can he keep the wheel in through turn number 5? He certainly is. And Davidson is going to get the inside through turn number 6. This is how he took the lead before, but he hasn't got it done early doors this time. He's going to have to continue to hold through as they hit into 7. Mikey Doble on the outside, Tom Davidson on the inside. It will switch around here just behind Delmont, and Doble are fighting it out for 3rd position. Isaac Doble now gone to the grass to try to get to the inside of Tom Davidson, and he has. Kieran Sharp has got past Adam Delmont. We're into the final turns. Kieran Sharp backs out, but Isaac Doble moves into 2nd. Sharp side by side with Adam Delmont here through the final turn. Nick Clibbins is trying to get involved. Who's going to come home in 2nd as Isaac Doble and Tom Davidson run side by side? It's 3 wide behind. Mikey Doble wins the race. Tom Davidson takes 2nd by 1/1000th of a second ahead of Isaac Doble. Adam Delmont comes home in 4th. Nick Clibbins there in 5th position. 6th position. Kieran Sharp in 5th. Nick Clibbins in 6th ahead of Trey Twadok. Jamie Dorey took home 8th ahead of Sam Smith. Lee Horn came home 10th. Andrew Pike 11th. 12th for Gavin Gardner. Adrian Fitch came home in 13th. It's 14th for Alan McCain, who recovers onto a class podium. Michael Clough stayed ahead of him in the stayed behind in the end by the end of the race for 15th. Adam Wilson-Weir in 16th. Mark Hughes took home 17th, ahead of Nigel Stott. Craig Jones came home in 19th, James Parfitt in 20th. Around the final corner comes, the 2 corners, comes Leslie Brazil. He is going to take 21st position in this race and 9th in class. Phil McDougall will come home 10th in class, not what he would have wanted in his recovery fight for the Pro-Am Championship. Magetta will come home in 23rd position, and Ben Oucher, it all went wrong for him, and he is going to come home in 24th position. Carl Thompson, William Kirtler, both down a lap at the end of that one, but Zara McGuinness is going to hold on to 25th ahead of Andy Outhouse as that all comes to a close. What a result, but 1/1000th of a second between Tom Davidson and Isaac Doble across the line. What a result that was. What a win for Mikey Doble, and it is going to be a nice one for him. It is only Mikey Doble's 2nd win of the season, and it is his 1st win since round number 1 back in Monza. That was absolutely brilliant. Race number 2 will be coming your way in just a moment's time, so don't go anywhere. We've still got 2 more races to go here, as that was only the start of it. The top 15 will be reversed for race number 2, which is great news for Michael Clough, who will start the 2nd race of the day from pole position. With that all being said and done, though, we will see who is around here that we could potentially pull across in for this one. Let's have a grab on to. Actually, do you know what? We are going to grab on here to Mikey Doble, if you can hear me, Mikey. Oh, can you hear me, Mikey? Oh, I think I'm having some microphone connectivity issues, which is lovely. Let's try this again. Oh, I think I know why. There you go. Can you hear me now, Mikey? Oh. I'm having issues with my microphone. This is brilliant, as it occasionally happens. And can you hear me now, Mikey? Hello? There we go. Okay,
Hello.
I think, yeah, there you go. I realised I was on push to talk. It wasn't going very well. Mikey, that was your 2nd win of the season. It's been a long time coming, because the last time you took the win was all the way back at Monza. It's a similar style circuit with the slipstream, but that was a heck of a fight all race long.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we were all saying in the chat that we all very thoroughly enjoyed that race. It was clean racing. There are times where none of us knew how we actually survived getting around some of those corners 3 abreast, but there was a lot of respect out there, and everyone raced hard but fair. But yeah, I'd say that's probably one of the best races of the season, and it's nice to get another win under my belt after a bit of a barren spell.
As I say, it has been not the best of runs for you lately, but as you say, a winner's a nice one to have. And as you go into race number 2, it means you'll be starting down in 15th position with our reverse grid. Are you feeling like with the slipstream, you're going to be able to work your way back through and potentially have another opportunity for a top 5?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if you can survive the first lap and a half to 2 laps around this track, then the qualifying position really isn't that important here. As you've seen, the slipstream keeps everyone very much together throughout the race, so it becomes effectively pack racing. So it's kind of picking your moves, following the right person to gain the best slipstream, and methodically working your way to the front of the pack.
I saw you working a little bit with Isaac when you both moved to the front of the field. Do you think you'll be working with him again in the 2nd race to move forward, or do you think it's more going to be picking and choosing whoever is the fastest ahead of you?
Yeah, I hope so. I tried my best to work with him in that race there, but the slipstream's so powerful around this circuit that you just can't pull a gap. If you've got fast people behind you, then if they're within 2 seconds of you, then they're just going to close you down. So eventually we did try blocking the track a little bit, but it didn't work out. And at the end there, I tried to help him out with the slipstream to get us a 1-2. But yeah, I think if the opportunity arises in the next race, kind of like it did there in that race, to push ourselves both to the front, then we'll certainly be trying to focus in on that.
Well, good luck for the next race, and hopefully it will go your way once more.
Yeah, enjoy, guys. Cheers.
That was their race 1 winner, Mikey Doble. After having a bit of a microphone issue on my behalf, we were able to have a word with him. Taking his second win of the season. As I said, his last time he took that win was back at Monza. Similar style circuit. It's about the slipstream. It's about working together. He took that in race number 2 last time. He's done it in race number 1 here. It does mean he'll be starting race number 2 from 15th position. Will have to work his way up the order. He will be starting directly behind Isaac Doble once again, which he did in race number 1, of course. Doble starting 3rd, so Isaac starting 3rd and Mikey starting in 5th position. So they certainly know how to work together as the race goes on. And we'll see if we just have time for one more chat very, very quickly, if I can. I also want to make sure that we get into the next server and we don't miss out on the start of the race. Let's see if we can pull across a man who was fighting towards the front of the field, but it fell away quite quickly. Not too bad in class result, but it certainly could have been more. I think there for you, Michael.
Yeah, I think I've only got myself to blame, though. I'll have to look back on the replay, but I'm pretty sure we were 3 wide at that point going around the corner, and I was on the outside. And the problem is, if you run too wide at that corner, you just lose all traction and wash out onto the gravel because there's no grip on the outside. So I was trying to not do that, but at the same time not pinch too much as well, and I obviously did, and it went pear-shaped, but it landed me in a fortunate position for race 2, so...
Yeah, you say that, it definitely. You're going to be on pole position for race number 2. How do you feel like you're going to approach this one?
Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's like it couldn't be a worse track to start from the front at. But if I didn't, yeah, I've just got to go really. Not fight. I think that the best thing to do is not battle. If you're getting past, be past, because you're just going to lose time to the guys behind, and we're going to end up with a massive gaggle of cars. So just allow people to pass you, we pass them, hopefully they're as compliant, and we just all make progress, and then just see what happens in the last 2 laps when the scrap happens.
Well, good luck for that one then, and like you say, perfect position for, well, race number 2, but starting from the front is going to be tricky. Hopefully it'll go a little bit better for you in that one. Good luck.
Thank you.
That was Michael Croft there. Finished that one 4th in class, 15th overall. We will be back then for the second race of the day in just a moment's time. So don't go anywhere, and we'll catch you very, very shortly. And we are back then for the second race of the evening of 3, of course, that are coming up. We are just coming to the end of the warm-up session as drivers prepare themselves for the second go around this track. 9 laps, of course, on the board again, just like they were in race number 1. And we'll get there again for race number 2. But as we have a watch here at the last minute, I hope that you are enjoying your time here watching the broadcast. I know that I am having a fantastic time here in the commentary booth, bringing it all towards you as well. If you're watching over on the Facebook page, make sure you say hello. Also hit that like button and share with your friends and family as well. If you're watching over on the YouTube, click that thumbs up and make sure you subscribe over there as well. And if you're watching on Twitch, make sure that you hit that follow button, and that way in all of those channels that you make sure that you are notified when there is a new broadcast coming your way, so you don't miss out on any of the fantastic racing action. I'm looking at all of your wonderful comments as you are tuning in. So well, good evening also to Phil McDougall, you're out there on track, you're tuning in over on the YouTube as well, and of course to Firelina over on the Twitch, and to Mecham as well over on the Twitch. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are dropping by and watching this wonderful evening of racing, make sure you say hello too, and I'll say hello to you as we prepare to start the second race of the evening. And without further ado, I don't think you want to be looking at me anymore, you want to be looking down on the circuit. So let's get ourselves down on the track then, so you can look at how the grid is going to line up for the second race of the day, because it is going to be another close one. A inverted field from the top 15 of our results in race number 1, which means that we are going to be seeing Michael Clough on pole position ahead of Alan McCain. Adrian Fitch will be starting in 3rd ahead of Gavin Gardner. Andrew Pike sits there in 5th position ahead of Lee Horn. We then see Sam Smith, Jamie Dory, Craig Twardock and Nick Clibbins down to 10th. 11th position will be Kieran Sharp sitting just ahead of Adam Delmont. Isaac Doble will start 13th ahead of Tom Davidson and Mikey Doble. The race 1 winner will start from 15th position. Adam Wilson-Weir, just missing out on the reverse grid pole, takes 16th place on the grid ahead of Mark Hughes and Nigel Stock. Then it will be Craig Jones ahead of James Parfitt. The rest of your field is Leslie Brazil, Phil McDougall, Matt Gasser, Ben Oucher, Zara McGuinness, Andy Outhouse, Carl Thompson and William Kurtler for the 28 cars that are preparing themselves for racing action here in race number 2. 9 laps on the clock once again as drivers will be hunting down their way towards the front of this field, just like they were in race number 1. Adam Delmont will be hoping to turn his first pole position of the season into his 6th win at some point this evening. He's the only driver to have taken 2 wins in a single weekend. He did that last week at Aragon. Isaac Doble, last week was the first time that we did not see the pole sitter take a victory in any of the 3 races. Will the same happen here today? It could be a potential. Well, I say that. It did also happen at Monza, of course. Sam Spinell took home a class win. But we prepare ourselves for 9 laps of racing action, and we are away up towards turn number 1. It's a lot of cloud of smoke. There is somebody in the background there who has not got away at the very front of the field. It was Craig Jones, I believe, who did not launch there as drivers get themselves through turn number 1. And once again, somehow, we have managed to get through turn number 1 instant-free, as that is a huge lead for Michael Clough. But it's saying, yeah, that's a huge lead from Clough there. How has he managed to take such a lead? Adrian Fitch completely misses a braking point. Contact. Cars around. A lot of cars involved in this one. This surely will be a safety car. We didn't see a safety car in race number 1. A lot of cars caught up in that one and fallen down the order as everyone else just trying to come through without getting involved in the incidents. as Isaac Doble has managed to do that. So has Mikey Doble, up to 7th here, looking to try and get back onto the podium in race number 2. Michael Clough has gained a 3-second advantage out front right now. Craig Twardock is holding on to 2nd. Gavin Gardner has got the inside here to Isaac Doble. Doble stuck on the outside line and now getting attacked by Adam Delmont, who has moved into 4th position in this one, if he can get past Isaac Doble here. McGuinness has been black flagged on the opening lap of this race. Meatball flag for Sam Smith, as well as drivers continue to fall down the order at the back. We come through the final corners on the lap. I'm seeing if the safety car is coming out, but I cannot see the safety car, so I believe that we are going to remain all green here as we go on to the 2nd lap of Asking. Isaac Doble goes defensive on Adam Delmont as we head up towards turn number 1. Delmont looking for the outsiders as something has just happened in the background there of the screen, as it looked like a front bumper flying off and a broken car. James Parfitt now with a meatball flag as well. We head up towards turn number 3, and look at that lead that Clough has at the front right now, but it is 3 wide behind here, as it's going to be side by side between Sharp, Davidson, no it's not, it's going to be between, Davidson, Sharp and even Mark Hughes getting involved in that one, but is not going to be able to stay involved as they head on down, as this is Alan McCain now also trying to get involved in this fight and move ahead of Kieran Sharp if possible as we get on towards the braking zone. Sharp looks to the inside of Mark Hughes. Hughes is off onto the gravel. That gives Alan McCain the class position, could potentially go for the move here on Kieran Sharp, as well as they head side by side onto the brakes now, and it is going to be Sharp ahead of McCain, ahead of Hughes, ahead of Stock. Ben Oucher looking to try and gain positions here on the outside of William Kirtler. It is not going to go the way that he would have hoped. The leading gap now down to 2.9 seconds, but Michael Clough has had an absolute brilliant start. He said starting on pole position is not the best at this circuit, but right now he is absolutely flying away from the rest of the field, and if they keep on fighting behind, if they don't form a good solid train, Clough could just have enough distance out the front here to take home a very dominant victory. Mikey Doble, purple lap from him, he's sitting 6th right now, as that's Delmont looking to the inside of Craig Twardock now for 2nd position. This is exactly what Michael Clough needs, is for the fight behind to go side by side, and at the moment Craig Twardock is trying to hold on here next to Adam Delmont. Smoke in the background there, as that is Carl Thompson, I believe, who has gone around, as something's happened to Michael Clough. Clough's back here now, dropping down the order. I believe he's potentially got a slowdown at turn number 1, because Michael Clough has fallen down to 5th, now under attack from Mikey Doble. Isaac Doble looks to the inside of Gavin Gardner here, as that's for 3rd position. Clough trying to hold on to 5th position ahead of Mikey Doble, is able to do that for the moment, as that is Gardner going back on the move for Isaac Doble here. Stuck to the outside though, Isaac Doble getting the inside line here, and it does look like that is going to work out for Doble. It certainly is. This is Michael Clough. Yeah, it's definitely a slowdown. Look how much he slowed down just on the racing line there. Definitely a slowdown for Michael Clough, which is a real shame because he had a very dominant lead at the front of that one. But he is still leading the Pro-Am field and will take the points for that one. If Clough managed to cross the line first, he would have been the first Pro-Am winner to take the overall race win, but unfortunately it won't go that way here today. We still have that opportunity in race number 3 though, with a full reverse grid, which currently would see James Parfitt on pole position in that one. Right, up towards turn number 1, Adam Delmont leading the way ahead of Craig Twardock. Isaac Doble in 3rd position, Gavin Gardner in 4th, Adam Michael Clough and Mikey Doble, as that was a couple of drivers swerving to the right hand side, suddenly seeing a very slow James Parfitt and moving across to the left-hand side, but for the most part they have sorted themselves out as Zarek McGuinness visits pit lane to deal with that penalty. Mikey Doble is side by side with Tom Davidson here. Davidson to the inside. Doble is going to lose that position for the moment, but will try and get it on the exit. Does have Kieran Sharp pushing Tom Davidson, however, which means Doble is on his own right now and on the outside line. This could potentially be another move just up ahead as Gavin Gardner looks to try and get back past Isaac Doble. Not going to work. Mikey Doble stuck on that outside line. You can see him having to correct on the wheel there. A couple of snaps of oversteer, and that has mean Davidson has taken that position, and Kieran Sharp now is going to run side by side with him and try to hold on to sixth. Right now it is going to go the way of Mikey Doble, however, who does manage to hold on to what is seventh position now in this race for Mikey Doble. Starting 15th, he's got the purple lap, but he is losing that train of drivers in front of him with this fighting that is going on. If they just work together, they'll be able to pull themselves back up to the front, which we have seen work in race number 1, which invited all the way up to the top 13 to be in the fight for the win on the final lap of asking. We head around turn number 10 and on to the 5th lap here, as that is going to be a slowdown for Tom Davidson, who has to back out of it out of the final turn and up towards turn number 1. Gavin Gardner now gets the purple lap as we go through turn number 1. Drivers pushing hard, push too hard, and you're going to get the slowdown that Michael Clough got on the exit of that turn. It isn't going to happen to anyone this time, and Isaac Doble looks to the outside of Craig Twardock here. They are side by side. It is going to be into the rear bumper of Adam Delmont, but this is going to invite Twardock to get to the inside of Delmont now. There's just enough room for him here. That's a back marker ahead. Isaac Doble, though, gets the speed on the exit, could potentially now go for the move at the front as Gavin Gardner is looking to try and take third position in this one as well. Moves to the left-hand side of the circuit. Michael Clough is just behind this lead fight. Certainly not out of contention for a race win, as it's side by side between Gardner and Twardock. Gardner gets the gravel though, and here comes Michael Clough to take advantage of Gardner's slight mistake there, but he is going to have to try and hold it around the outside, which is not the line you want to take. Mikey Doble looking to tuck in behind and follow Gardner's line up the inside, certainly is going to do that, which means that now Clough falls down to 6th position, and 5th position goes the way of Mikey Doble as Michael Clough now under attack from Kieran Sharp as well, but Clough is going to hold on to that for the time being. Adam Delmont leads his train of drivers. Like I say, that is a back marker, I believe. That's Zara McGuinness, who has been down pit lane, served the penalty, and has had a nice quick repair to boot as well. So a nice quick repair, meaning that that car's fully fixed and ready to go, but unfortunately for her, she is a lap down. Side by side here between Michael Clough and Kieran Sharp. Sharp gets to the inside of turn number 1. Clough looks to try and get the tuck up the inside. It is going to be an off track. It's not a slowdown by the looks of it though, but it is a risk to take that much curbing up the inside, as it is going to be Isaac Doble pushing Adam Delmont at the front here. Is he going to go for the move? He certainly is, as he ducks back out of it. Mikey Doble does not back out of his move up the inside of Gavin Gardner and takes 4th position in this race. Mikey Doble is seriously on with a chance of taking 2 race victories in a single weekend. It only happened for the first time last week at Aragon. It has not happened in race number 1 and race number 2 with the top 15 reverse. Isaac Doble looking to try and get up the inside of Adam Delmont. Not able to do that at the moment, and will hold on to 2nd position. Michael Clough trying to get back past Kieran Sharp now as he looked for the up and under at turn 1. It didn't work out. And that alternate line not working out for him now as Tom Davidson gets to the inside. The driver behind him is the one that he's really got to pay attention to now. Alan McCain, Pro-Am driver, is sitting behind in 10th position, but once again Clough is going to fight it out with Tom Davidson, and Davidson just squeezes through and makes the move for 7th. McCain looking now to the inside of Clough isn't going to turn into anything just there. The leading 5 drivers is the current train. Delmont, Doble, Twadok, Doble and Gardner are your top 5 that are leading the way ahead of the rest of the field right now. As then there is a gap of about 1.3 seconds to that next train of drivers. If they stop fighting between themselves, though, they will pull themselves up to the front once more, though, especially towards the end of this race, as these drivers are going to fight. Talking about the end of the race, we've only got 3 more laps to go. Adam Delmont, can he turn his pole position into a race victory here, or will Isaac Doble, Craig Twadok, Mikey Doble, Gavin Gardner be able to take it away from him? Onto the brakes, and Mikey Doble goes for a late move up the inside of Craig Twadok there for 3rd position. None of them on that outside line wanted to go for the overtake. It meant that Twadok was a little bit slower on the entrance, and Mikey Doble tried to take full advantage of it. It didn't quite work out the way that he would have been hoping, and it does mean that Mikey Doble is going to hold on to 4th position right now, ahead of Gavin Gardner, but behind Craig Twadok, and he is going to be wanting to move ahead of that. Kieran Sharp now only 0.6 of a second behind, so we are inviting the drivers behind back into the fight already, with how much they are going at it at the front of this one. We're heading up to 2 to go at the moment. Quarter of a second between Adam Delmont and Isaac Doble. We ride on board with Gavin Gardner, 5th position, rear of this cluster of cars at the very front of the field, 8 tenths down to Kieran Sharp behind, who is pulling Tom Davidson in. Clough not too far off the back of that with McCain. That's the fight on the podium. And for the win of the Pro-Am fields, the Clough is going to be wanting to stay at the front of that. McCain, the championship leader, will be wanting to take the victory in this one, as he took 3rd in race number 1 in class. Across the timing line we go once more, and Delmont leads Doble with 2 to go. It is going to be a good position for Isaac Doble. He didn't go for the move to the lead last lap. Is he going to stay behind again this lap and potentially try and hold on for the 9th lap of Erskine and take that lead at the very end of the race? Andy Outhouse has got a black flag, will need to visit down pit lane. He is already a couple of laps off the lead of this one, which means James Parfitt, I believe, will be the driver who is going to take provisional pole, as Isaac Doble moves to the inside of Adam Delmont. He didn't want to stay behind like I thought he would. Going on to the last lap, Isaac Doble moves ahead of Adam Delmont now. Craig Twadok and Mikey Doble just behind the leading 4 drivers. A little bit of gap to the cars behind, but not much. It is going to go side by side here into turn number 4. Isaac Doble on the inside of Delmont. There's contact. Mikey Doble goes around. Contact with Craig Twadok. Doble gets his car straight again, down in 9th position, but that has just opened up a little bit of a gap here. Isaac Doble leading Craig Twadok. I don't think you can blame anyone on that one. It is a tight part of the course, but of course we're not getting all the camera angles up here. We're just getting this high camera angle at the moment as we head towards the end of the lap and up towards the white flag lap. We aren't going to see the double from Mikey Doble, which is a shame. He was right there in it, but could we see the Dobles take 2 wins in a single weekend? Though we've not seen both Doble brothers win at the same track yet. It could change here. Craig Twadok looking for his first win in the pro class. Adam Delmont, though, wanted to not allow that to happen. Looks to the inside. Twadok goes extremely defensive, but Delmont does hold on to that inside line in towards turn number 1. He backs out of it. It gives Delmont the overlap, but they're going to switch back around. This is allowing Isaac Doble to pull away out the front here and get a little bit of a gap, 0.6 of a second between them at the between the battle for second and Isaac Doble at the front, who could be saved with this fight that's going on. Twadok is to the inside of Adam Delmont. Delmont to the outside. Twadok gets the speed, and so does Gavin Gardner. Tom Davidson is now under attack from Kieran Sharp just behind as well, as it's still side by side between Twadok and Delmont. Twadok on the inside line, Delmont on the outside line. It ended in contact last lap. Is it going to be cleaner this lap as we get onto the braking zone of turn number 4? Delmont looking to carry the speed on the outside. It's a hard corner to do that, especially if you kick up the gravel. It is going to go the way of Craig Twadok right now. Doble has taken the victory in this one. He's too far ahead. to touch right now, but Delmont is still to the inside of Craig Twardock, and he is going to hold on to second position for the time being. They're going to switch in to turn number 7 though. Twardock now could be under attack from his teammates Tom Davidson and Kieran Sharp, who are directly behind him. Sharp looking for the overtake on Davidson as Twardock goes to the inside on Adam Delmont. It's not over in this fight to the podium. Twardock is to the inside, Delmont on the outside. He's going to need to carry so much speed. It's side by side between Sharp and Davidson behind. As there's contact, and that's Davidson off the circuit. Isaac Dobin is going to win race number 2, and Adam Delmont is going to take it on the drag race to the line ahead of Craig Twardock, or is he? No, he's not. It replaces with... Now I'm confused who's taking it. Adam Delmont takes second position. Craig Twardock takes third, just behind. Kieran Sharp takes 4th. Gavin Gardner moves up into 5th. Michael Koff into 6th. Tom Davidson falling to 7th, finishing just ahead of Alan McCain. Mikey Dable took home 9th in the end, ahead of Nigel Stock. Adam Wilson-Weir took home 12th, ahead of Jamie Dory. Mark Hughes took home 13th. Ben Oucher in 14th. Nick Clements in 15th, ahead of Lee Horn. Phil McDougall came home in 17th, ahead of Adrian Futch in 18th. Carl Thompson in 19th. William Kirtler in 20th. And across the line, the two teammates, Leslie Brazil and Matt Gatter, cross to take 21st and 22nd position. Andrew Pike comes around the final turn to take home 23rd position. Sam Smith will come home to take 24th. Zara McGuinness has already taken 25th, a lap down, along with James Parfitt, Andy Outhouse and Craig Jones, both out of the race. But after Mikey Doble took the win in race number 1, it is Isaac Doble who takes the win in race number 2, and for Isaac it is his 3rd victory of the season. It is only the 2nd driver to take more than 2 victories in a single season for this season. So that is fantastic news for him. Let's have a little bit of a look at who I want to force into an interview over here, because I like to force drivers to talk to me as the evening progresses. And I think my next victim that I am going to pull across and force to talk to me is going to be Adam Delmont, coming home 2nd in that one. It could have been a fight for the win, but it was a fight with Craig Twardock across the line. But I mean, it's been fighting up front all evening long so far, Adam.
Yeah, it's good evening, Joseph. Yeah, it certainly has, mate. It's it's been exciting, to say the least.
You haven't been able to take that victory out. I mean, it's your first pole position of the season, but of course, at a circuit like this, pole doesn't really mean much. Did you feel like you've had that opportunity to take the win and it hasn't come to you, or do you feel like you've just not been in the perfect position on the last lap yet?
Yeah, it's just difficult because obviously you never know what those around you are going to do. So, you're making a choice every lap. Do I take a defensive line, or do I just drive my normal line and hope that they don't go for a pass? And obviously it is ideally better to be in P2 coming on to the last lap so you can get the run. But me and Craig tripped up over each other a few times and just let Isaac scarper up the road a little bit. But the pace is there, mate. It's a draft track, and there's too many variables to know if you can get the win. The pace is there. I've kept Kieran behind me in both races, and Isaac's only been in front of me once. So that's ultimately the aim. If a win's a bonus.
Definitely, those points, those consistency, that's what really matters. And race number 3, all 3 of you are going to be starting towards the rear of the field. Do you think there's opportunity to move through, get towards the front? I mean, we did see a big accident in that one, of course, at the very start of the race. So I think it's all about avoiding that and just getting through, don't you?
Yeah, there is always an element of luck, I'd say, on draft tracks, because the packs are so tightly bunched. If somebody spins, it could just be the smallest of things, but the chain reaction turns it into a real big thing real quick. So, just hope for a bit of luck, try and be aware as possible. If I do slow down, hope that those behind, follow suit and slow down, and then, you should be able to make it through. if everybody slowed down and backed off for smoke or incidents, we'd probably get through a few more. But we'll see, mate. Well, I'll be giving it my all as always.
Well, good luck for the final race of the day then. Those wins have come to you, the consistency not so much, so hopefully you won't get caught up in anyone else's issues on that one.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Adam Delman there coming home in second, and then we will pull a course and talk to the winner of race number 2. It was almost handed to you on that last lap with Adam and Craig fighting out, but it was a race-long battle. You had to work your way up from quite low on the grid with the reverse grid, Isaac, but a very good win.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great race. The road on the first lap and the turn 2 incident sort of just opened up for me, and I managed to go from 13th all the way up to 4th, which helps me get most of my overtakes done. And then once I got up into second behind Delmont, it's just about waiting for the time to overtake, and I decided to on the lap before the last in the hope that they'd battle behind, and they did, which gave me the gap for the last lap.
Well, it's been a whole evening of cars just going side by side. It's been extremely close. Nobody's had really any breathing space. How are you feeling about starting all the way towards the back of the field in race number 3, having to work your way through?
Judging by the racing tonight, hopefully should be able to keep my nose clean and get through. I've actually not had a night yet without an incident or a crash, so it would
well,
be
I think
nice
you've just jinxed it now, haven't you?
Yeah, I know, but I've been saying that. I've said that every week and I've crashed, so maybe this will be the lucky week.
Well, it's your 3rd win of the season here in the second race of the day. So the consistency is coming your way, of course. You had good results over Kieran Sharp, who leads the Pro Championship. So if you get a good race number 3, you could be leading the championship going into the final 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, that would be ideal. Maybe close up the gap a bit more, so I'm closer going into the final 2 rounds, and I'm in with a shout with the championship at the end.
Well, good luck for race number 3, and hopefully we can keep that with an instant free weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Isaac Dober there, finishing that one in the lead of the race. We have still got one more race to go, so don't go anywhere. We are looking forward to race number 3 because it's the longest race of the evening, 9 laps so far. We'll be looking at 15 or 16 laps in the 3rd race of the day. It is a full inverted grid from drivers no more than 1 lap down, which means we should be seeing about 25 or 26 drivers in that invert. Race number 3 is going to be coming up in just a moment's time, though. So don't go anywhere. We will be back, and I'll see you in a moment. We are here for the final race of the day, so welcome back to the NXTGEN Racing's Mazda MX5 Cup. Race number 3, heading down in just 1 moment's time. It is the longest race of the evening. I've been talking a lot about the overall race results and therefore the pro drivers and the pro championships, going with Mikey Doble winning race number 1, Isaac Doble winning race number 2. However, I think it is also important, just very quickly, to touch on our Pro-Am field as well, because we've been talking about the drivers getting involved in those fights and getting up there, including Michael Clough. And Michael Clough taking victory in class in race number 2. It is his first class victory of the season, so even at this point in the championship now, we're 6 rounds in, we've already had 15 races, and now we've had 17, and we're still seeing new race winners. And Sam Smith took victory in class in race number 1, and he took that victory, his second victory of the season, because his first victory came all the way in race number 2 at Brands Hatch. He was the driver that went on wet tyres from the start of the race with his teammate Nick Clibbins, and they came home 1-2 at the front of the field. We are just a moment away from the final race of the evening, so I hope you are ready. You've got your popcorn ready, you've got your drinks ready, because if the last 2 races weren't enough for you, the longer race here today is sure to send the sparks flying. And to make it even more interesting, we are at a complete inverted field from all of the drivers that finished no more than a lap down in race number 1, which means race number 2 winner Isaac Doble is going to find himself towards the back end of the top 20 at the start of this race, and will need to find his way through to get all the way back towards the front. Can we see a driver take a double win in the same weekend for the second week running? If it is going to be the case, it will be either Mikey Doble or Isaac Doble to get their way up there. Will we see Adam Delmont convert his pole position that he got for the first time this season into a race victory in at least one of these races? He wasn't quite able to do it in race number 2. He wasn't quite there in race number 1, and he's got a lot to do for race number 3. But without further ado, let's get ourselves down onto the grid then, so we can have a look at how the standings are going to lay out here around the how the grid is going to lay out here around the wonderful Red Bull Ring. James Parfitt is going to be starting this one from first position. Sarah McGuinness is going to be starting from second on the grid. Sam Smith will be starting from third, with Andrew Pike in fourth. Fifth position will be left empty, with Leslie Brazil taking sixth position on the grid. That is not the button I wanted to go. Seventh position is going to go to William Kurtler ahead of Carl Thompson and Adrian Fitch. Phil McDougall will start in 10th ahead of Lee Horn and Nick Clibbins. Ben Oucher will start from 13th ahead of Mark Hughes. 15th position will be Jamie Dory and Adam Wilson-Weir in 16th place. 17th place is Nigel Stock ahead of Mikey Doble, who will start in 18th. Alan McCain will start in 19th ahead of Tom Davidson. Rest of field, we've got Michael Clough in 21st, Gavin Gardner in 22nd ahead of Kieran Sharp and Craig Twardock. Adam Delmont will be starting 25th position ahead of Isaac Doble down in 26th. Andy Outhouse will be the only driver not included in the reversed grid at the end of this one. My guesstimate of laps for the final race, not quite accurate. We are going for 14 laps in this final race of asking, which means we're going for 5 additional laps over those that we have seen already so far. James Parfitt is going to be on the left-hand side of the grid here, and the right-hand side of our screens from that pole position spot, with Zara McGuinness just behind. If you can get a good launch, will be the inside up towards turn number 1. But the drivers preparing themselves for the final race of action. We have seen a number of incidents happen over the course of the evening. Nothing enough to pull out a safety car yet, because the drivers have been able to clear themselves up pretty quickly, and has caught no more than about 5 or 6 with major damage so far. So, race number 3, preparing our way. Will we see a weekend without a safety car? Will we see a weekend without an incident for Isaac Doble? He thinks, well, he says it every week that he's not had an incident so far this week. He's managed to make it to race number 3, but starting from 26th position on a full inverted grid is going to make this incredibly challenging to go instant free throughout this race. But 14 laps of asking means you don't need to make your way to the very front of the field straight away. You find your drivers to work with. I mean, Doble could work with Delmont, Twardock, Sharp, Gardner, those drivers that were together. Even Mikey Doble, if they get up to him. The drivers that were working together, well, that were fighting it out at the front, they could work together to find their way to the very front of the field if they are patient, if they aren't caught up in any instance. But race number 2 here is going to start in just 1 moment's time. 14 laps on the board, and we are going to be heading out for the final time of asking here at the Red Bull Ring. After this, only 6 more races remain over the next 2 weeks for drivers to be able to find all their points. And you can hear that when we were speaking to Adam Delmont, he doesn't mind that he's not winning. He is getting some good points to his name, and that's exactly what he needs in that championship fight between Isaac Doble, himself, Adam Delmont, and between Kieran Sharp as well. Sharp currently leading the championship heading into this weekend. 2 more rounds to go at the end of this one. 14 laps on the board. If it's anything like last week at Aragon, I thought I was I imagined it, but I did not. I watched the replay. It was 13 laps at the start. It ended up being 14. Are we going to gain any laps here? Let's find out. We are going to be green and away here for the final race of the day. They all get off the line this time, and are they all going to get through turn number 1 cleanly? It looks like we are going to remain relatively sensible through turn number 1 at the front of the field, as that is Sam Smith getting past James Parfitt. It was who was it falling down the order? Phil McDougall, I believe, was one of the drivers falling down the order in the background there. But up towards the front here, Sam Smith is looking to take the lead in this race. Third on the grid, is going to do so. It's 4 wide behind. Are they going to find their way through without instant? Somehow, there's only a tiny bit of contact at the back between Gardiner and Delmont, but other than that, they have managed to get through instant 3 into turn 3. How about into turn number 4 here? Heavy onto the brakes as we turn in. Oucher's gone to the outside, and there's contact ahead, and that is a number of cars involved in that one. One car facing the wrong way was Matt Gatter. He will find his way back onto the circuit, but only a couple of cars involved in that one means that we will remain green as the fight continues, as Adrian Fritsch getting past Leslie Brazil there, now looking to get the inside of Tom Davidson as well. Davidson holding that outside line. They rub doors there. There's going to be a bit more contact than just rubbing doors, and that's going to invite Leslie Brazil into the mix on this one around the outside. The leading 4 drivers now 2 seconds clear at the front, but we are going to go 3 wide into the final turn here, and it isn't going to settle down, so there is contact, and that is going to be Nick Clibbins, the man who is worse off out of all of that one. It was 3 wide into turn number 9. That was never going to work. Adrian Fritsch comes down pit lane, and Andrew Pike looking to fight with Zara McGuinness in towards turn number 1 here. Pike's to the inside, McGuinness to the outside. Andrew Pike third in the race. He is the leading pro driver at the moment. Mikey Doble has managed to work his way up to 8th position in this race, looking to try and get past Lee Horn out of turn number 1, and this kink to the left of turn 2. He is going to keep himself alongside, so it'll all be about the brakes now, whether Mikey Doble can get past Lee Horn, hold himself ahead. Lee Horn also goes late on the brakes to try and hold it on that outside line. He's not going to be able to do so, and Mikey Doble moves up to 7th, chasing down Ben Oucher now, just up ahead as Jamie Jory is side by side with Tom Davidson behind as they fight it out for the top 10. Isaac Doble has found his way up to 16th position right now, so he stayed out of instance as it stands, as Davidson to the inside of Dory, leaving more than enough room on the inside, and it invites Kieran Sharp into fight as well. So Dory not loses just 1 position, could potentially lose 2, as he's now going to have to stick to the inside of Sharp. Sharp trying to hold it on the outside line. It's a hard line to hold, but if you can keep it there through 7, you can get it back through 8, and it's not going to work out, unfortunately, for him. So Sharp is going to settle down into 12th position. Zara McGuinness now wants to get past James Parfitt. Pike has made his way into 2nd. McGuinness looked to the inside of Parfitt. It isn't going to work out, but Parfitt runs off the circuit through turn number 9, and again through turn number 10, pushing hard here as Phil McDougall just behind, 4th in class right now, wanting to get past Zara McGuinness. Looks to the inside as we head up towards the first turn on the corner, and nothing is going to happen there as Mikey Doble on the rear end of Ben Oucher, and then that chain to McGuinness as well, as that's to the right hand side, pulls McDougall out of the way of Oucher and Doble, who fly through. McDougall could have a slowdown there because he's continuing to slow a lot on the exit. He certainly does have a slowdown, and that is a shame for Phil McDougall, who falls further down the order. Doble does not go for the overtake on Oucher. Is he looking to work with Oucher perhaps? Adam Delmont gets the inside of Adam Wilson-Weir, and Isaac Doble looking to get involved in this one as well as they head up towards turn number 4. Wilson-Weir on the outside Delmont to the inside. Isaac Doble is pushing him here, and Gavin Gardner is looking to get in behind as well. Doble moves back to the outside, but Delmont is to the inside of Wilson Weir. Wilson Weir pushes it wide, gets the gravel, gets back on, but it is side by side between Delmont and Doble once more now as they head up towards turn number 6, the left-hander. Delmont's going to have the inside. Wilson Weir has dropped behind. He could have got himself back involved, but he isn't. There's a little bit of a contact there, a little bit of a wobble from Doble, and that has once again invited Wilson Weir to get to the inside line now and try to get past and back up into 14th position. It's not going to work out as Craig Twardock pushing behind Gavin Gardner now, also getting involved in this one as they head up towards the final 2 turns in this gaggle of 5 cars. It is Isaac Doble who is leading that one. It's side by side behind between Wilson Weir and Twardock. Twardock to the inside gets that position. They settle themselves down behind, but Gardner looking to get the speed on Clough on the exit. They're side by side, and it's going to go 3 wide as Alan McCain puts his car in the middle of it here to go for the overtake, and somehow Alan McCain has come out that one on top as Oucher, Doble and Horn all get past Zara McGuinness there as they are now chasing down James Parfitt. Parfitt moves to the right, Oucher to the left-hand side. Parfitt allows the pro driver of Oucher, allows the pro driver of Doble around the outside, and Lee Horn just finds enough space to also follow them through. Mikey Doble chasing down Ben Oucher. It's 3 seconds up to Andrew Pike. Surely these 3 drivers will be working together to catch up to Andrew Pike. Sam Smith taking a second win on class in race number 1 today is leading once more here in the final race of Asking, and this time it's leading for an overall position. Zara McGuinness and James Parfitt now fighting out for 6th position in this race, second in class, but it is Parfitt who remains ahead at this stage. Mark Hughes is just behind, looking to potentially try and get onto the podium. Parfitt runs slightly wider there, and McGuinness looks to the inside. There's just enough space between them as McGuinness slows down just more than she probably needed to give enough space there. I thought they'd be working together, but Mikey Doble looking to the inside of Ben Oucher, moves past Oucher here. Let me past, I'm faster, we can work together is my thing that shoots into my head. So Mikey Doble moves into 3rd position right now. Will surely be getting the push from Oucher. If they're fighting it out for 3rd, they are really throwing away an opportunity to pull up to the front now. 14 laps here, 5 more than we've seen in the previous 2 races, means that these drivers, if they properly work together, they should be able to find their way back towards the front of this field. The lights flick on as the sun continues to set here as we head up towards turn number 3, and you can see Smith and Pike, they are getting closer together at the front of this field, but behind the train of drivers that is chasing down, it is side by side between McGuinness and Parfitt. McGuinness goes to the inside, Parfitt's wide, and here comes Davidson to get involved. Parfitt swings across to the right, slamming into the side of Davidson there. Davidson still alongside, Parfitt in the middle of this 3 wide, McGuinness on the left. Davidson moves right to the right hand side there, linked together. That is the weirdest bit of iRacing netcode I've seen, and it is more contact as they all try to settle themselves down, and Parfitt swings to the right, hits another driver. But that was the weirdest bit of netcode I've seen, because I don't think you could blame either driver for that one. They were just completely locked in together. That was so weird on that one. That's something unlike anything I've ever seen before, but that has allowed Isaac Doble to move up to 12th, Adam Delmont up to 11th right now as Delmont looking to try and get past Phil McDougall. Isaac Doble looking to get up the inside if possible as well into the end of this lap, and he certainly does, and McDougall is going to stop him behind as Adam Wilson Weir now looking to try and get the inside. Doble still side by side with McDougall. McDougall is carrying that speed and is actually helping Delmont ahead. Dorey looking to get past Mark Hughes as Kieran Sharp and Zara McGuinness swap around positions just up ahead as well, but Dorey to the inside of Hughes and takes 8th position in this race. but a slightly wider exit gives Hughes the speed here. McGuinness has got the speed on Sharp as well, so it's 2 by 2 here as Adam Delmont looks to push Jamie Dory. Zara McGuinness is to the inside of Kieran Sharp here. Different classes, of course, but they are going to want all the positions they possibly can. McGuinness holds that title line, gives Sharp the speed on the exit. It certainly is the speed as Dory, with the help of Delmont, both drivers get past Mark Hughes. The gap at the very front is down to 0.4 of a second now. Sam Smith leading Andrew Pike. I'm sure Pike will love the opportunity to try and take the lead in this race. That train of Doble out your horn behind is looking at closing down. There's contact. Jamie Dory and Adam Delmont come together, and Adam Delmont completely takes out Jamie Dory on the view that we saw there. We caught on late onto that incident, but what has happened here, as we watch, it just looks like Delmont runs wide, actually. It just looks like he runs wide in that incident. As we're going to watch it once more here, find out what happened with Adam Delmont and Jamie Dory. Jamie Dory on that outside line. It's Zara McGuinness on the inside. Delmont goes to the inside. That is completely on Delmont there. Delmont just pushes wide and catches Jamie Dory. So Adam Delmont there, taking pole position for the first time this evening, will take out Jamie Dory for the first time this evening, and in a way that he would have been hoping that didn't happen. That could potentially be a penalty going forward out of this one, as I know that there is a crackdown on the penalties, but again, from the commentary booth, I see it one way. I am not a racing steward. I just call it how I see it, not how it's actually occurred all of the time. You've got to remember that everyone views things slightly differently. On to the braking of turn number 3, and this is going to be Zara McGuinness on the outside of Phil McDougall. McDougall has a bit of a wobble behind and does manage to keep it going with some speed, but McGuinness is still very much in there. Adam Delmont is looking to get back involved in this one following the contact before. It goes 3 wide. Are they going to remain 3 wide through the corner? They certainly are. They settle themselves into 2 wide, but on the exit they go back to 3 wide with Delmont once again in the middle. Gardner pushing through, but now Delmont decides to follow McDougall, but now once again jumps back into the middle again, as Delmont just seems to love being in the middle of a 3 wide. It swaps across to the inside, and now it will be the inside line for Delmont over McGuinness. McGuinness will get the inside on the swap back. However, as we go through turn number 8, and now getting pushed potentially getting pushed from Adam Wilson-Weir, as well as the 2 teammates on that inside line, trying to work together as they go side by side. A little bit of a nudge there. Delmont completely off the circuit, could get a slowdown for that one. There's contact just up ahead, and Delmont goes around with that one, as there was just a tiny little bit of contact that ended up with cars going slightly sideways. Here we go again. Guinness and Delmont come together. It's going to be contact between Gardner and Wilson-Weir, and they just all come together on the exit of that corner behind the trees there. We'll see if we can get another angle on that one, as they just all came together. As there you go, 3 into 1 just does not go. Delmont had a difficult place trying to return to the track, and I would argue that the rejoin was the issue there. Mark Hughes drops behind Phil McDougall, who moves second into class, but McDougall goes deep, and this could be an opportunity for Hughes to switch back across and try to regain second in class position right now. It goes 3 wide once more behind Zara McGuinness, Adam Wilson-Weir and Alan McCain. McCain is on the inside line here. As they get onto the brakes, it is going to be Wilson-Weir who goes deep onto that one, as McGuinness gives up position to Davidson and to Clibbins as well. A little bit of gravel being kicked up there from the number 4 of Adam Wilson-Weir. Clibbins holds it on the outside. It's still side by side, so Wilson-Weir has the opportunity to regain the position on McCain, and he certainly is. And here comes Tom Davidson to try and stick it up the inside as well, as it's a slightly wider line entering turn number 7 from Alan McCain, and it is onto the gravel there for McCain and for Davidson. Davidson comes back on. A little bit of a knock from Clibbins on the rear unsettled him, but everyone stays facing the right way. It will be a slowdown for Alan McCain, who has to jump out of the way in that one. The gap at the very front of the field. They are trying to work together, but Mikey Doble, Ben Oucher, Lee Horn are working together in that third position train, and they have closed the gap by a half in this race. They still have 6 more laps to go, including this one, and they are down to 1.5 seconds now, so they have a real opportunity in this one. Isaac Doble pushing Kieran Sharp as well. Isaac Doble moving his way up to 7th position in this race, from 26th on the grid. He has done a fantastic job, of course, with the inverted grid, taking advantage of other people's issues and really moving up the order with that. Nick Clibbins looking to try and get up the inside of Tom Davidson. It won't turn into anything though. Gavin Gardner will still be chasing the rear of this field, with Wilson Weir just at the very back of it at the moment. Smoke in the background, and it is James Parfitt who has found the car into the barrier, pushing it slightly hard and just sends it around, lights up the rears, just avoids the barrier actually as he gets it back going straight, as this is the train of Kieran Sharp from 6th position. They're 5 seconds to the battle in front, so unless something really happens in front, this isn't going to turn into anything. Jamie Dorey is out of this race, as is Carl Thompson. They're both down pit lane. Adrian Futch is the last man still running. He is 25th position in the race as it stands, as we head up towards turn number 9 now, and through turn 9, this train of drivers just follows through. They're not fighting each other just yet, and I think we will see the fights come on the last lap of the race if the lead train has not closed any closer towards them. They are, for the time being, trying to work together in the hopes that they'll be able to pull themselves up to what is now a 5-car train at the front, and Sam Smith is going to go back on Andrew Pike. They have been jumping each other in a leapfrog to try and move up the order, move away from the drivers behind, but it isn't going to work. In fact, Lee Horn has dropped off the back of this train here, which has given Mikey Doble an opportunity to take his 3rd win of the season and the 2nd win of the evening if he is able to make his way through. Ben Oucher looking for his 2nd win of the season. Andrew Pike looking for his 1st win of the season. He moves to the inside of Sam Smith to go back for the overall race lead. He gets onto the brake series. Sam Smith going to be working with Andrew Pike here, going defensive over Mikey Doble as they chase down with Ben Oucher just following behind. We're actually going to ride on board with Ben Oucher and see this battle just up ahead. Slightly wide from Andrew Pike there. Isn't the line that he would have been hoping for to keep the speed, but we head up towards the final 4 laps of asking now, and we do have a train for the lead, and it is with pro drivers involved in this one. Sam Smith looking for his 3rd win in class. He's currently 2nd overall. Mikey Doble right on the rear end though as we head in towards turn number 9. Andrew Pike leading the way. This is a great camera shot to be able to see this fight that is going on in front at the moment as we go through the final turns. Oucher getting slightly closer to the rear end of Doble. Doble slightly slower because of the drivers in front of him, and Smith says this fight is not mine, and I think that is a really honourable thing to do. He did not need to do that. He could have kept himself up in that podium, overall podium. However, he knows that this is the fight for the overall race win in the Pro Championship. He is going to win the Pro-Am race at this stage, so he's just going to let these drivers fight. Mikey Doble looks to the inside, and Ben Oucher looks to the outside. It's 3 wide for the lead. Oucher breaks early. Mikey Doble's on the inside. Andrew Pike looking for the switchback on the exit here in the fight for the win. Mikey Doble is going to be on the outside line. Andrew Pike is going to be on the inside line, which has worked out so well. But Oucher pushing Doble on the outside there. They get onto the brakes here. Is the inside line going to work out for Andrew Pike? It is. Doble has been hit off the circuit on that outside and lost a lot of positions in race number 2, but he's still waiting forward anyway. Oucher now is no longer just going to be pushing Doble. He knows that he has an opportunity to take his second win of the season, and he'll be wanting to do that as we now come up towards 3 to go. Andrew Pike leading the way ahead of Mikey Doble and Ben Oucher. Sam Smith leading the Pro-Am class in 4th overall. Lee Horn just 0.8 of a second behind. It's a wobble from Mikey Doble. He moves to the outside. Andrew Pike covers the inside line as we head in towards the final turn here. The final 2 turns, and it is going to be to the lead for Mikey Doble. Andrew Pike is going to have to defend from Ben Oucher, who runs on the outside. They're side by side on the exit. They keep on fighting here. Doble could pull away, but we've still got 3 more laps left in it, so it isn't going to allow Doble to escape like Isaac Doble did in race number 1. It is still side by side though between Pike and Oucher through turn 1, as Lee Horn is now right on the rear end of this as well. Sam Smith pushing Pike on the right hand side, Oucher left to dry on the left hand side of the circuit. Here comes Lee Horn to dive to that outside line up towards turn number 3. Heavy on the brakes there from Pike and Oucher. Pike getting that inside line, runs it perfectly. Oucher has to drop down to 3rd position. They are almost a second off of Mikey Doble at the front of this field, and they are not going to work together to pull themselves back up to Mikey Doble here. Ben Oucher to the outside of Andrew Pike as they go through turn number 4. The outside line is not going to work out the way that Oucher was hoping it would. He's behind once again, and now that gap is definitely over a second between this fight for second and the lead battle. Sam Smith has dropped back and let Lee Horn through into 4th position as well. So he has allowed this podium fight to continue. Mikey Doble currently feeling a breath of fresh air behind him in this one, but it might not end that way as Oucher goes to the outside of Andrew Pike. If they keep on fighting, it is going to help Mikey Doble out the front of this one. Oucher extremely wide through turn 9, gets it back across in towards turn number 10. Andrew Pike pushing slightly wider on the exit there as Lee Horn trying to get involved in this one now. This is Mikey Doble's looking in his rearview mirrors and just saying, yep, keep at it, keep doing it. And that fight behind it's being led by Kieran Sharp. Got Isaac Doble and Craig Twaddock just behind that as well. They're not too far off of this fight. It's about 3.5 seconds now, and they could close that with how hard these three are fighting at the front. 1.1 seconds between Mikey Doble and Andrew Pike at the moment as we are on the penultimate lap of asking. Are we going to see Isaac Doble go for the move on Kieran Sharp here on lap 13? No, they are going to continue to work together as they see that fight ahead of them down to 2.9 seconds right now. So they are certainly seeing a potential podium between ahead of them if they don't fight. But I'm sure if that gap is still about 3 seconds next lap, Isaac Doble is going to move for 6th position in this race, and Craig Twaddock isn't going to want to stay behind either. Gata and Brazil swap around positions in 19th and 20th overall as we head towards the end of the 13th lap of asking, and somehow we have gone a whole evening with no safety car, and I'm going to jinx it once more, but Isaac Doble has gone a whole evening for the first time this season without an incident. Can he get through the last lap of asking here down in 7th position? It sounds like not a great result for a championship contender, but he did start in 26th position in this race, so he has done a great job of moving up the order without incident. Now through the final couple of corners we go. The gap to the lead just 0.8 of a second now. It has closed down. Mikey Doble is going to be leading as we go on to the white flag lap though. Andrew Pike will be hoping that he can close down behind as Andy Outhouse has had an issue through the turn number 4, and it's just a slight spin for him. Back towards the front though, and it continues to be a fight at the front, and this train behind it is still 3 seconds. So will we see Isaac Doble go for the overtake this time? He certainly is. It's the last lap of asking. They're not closing up to the fight for the front. So Isaac Doble is going to get that overtake done before the corner. And now Kieran Sharp could be under attack from Craig Twaddock behind. Gets it on the exit though, keeps the speed up. Down to 3/10 now for Mikey Doble. But realistically, this could have been the last point that Pike was going to be able to get himself alongside. He's going to hold on to second for now. Ben Oucher comes through in third position with Lee Horn just behind in their fight. Isaac Doble ahead of Kieran Sharp and Craig Twaddock. Michael Clough and James Parfitt seems like they have come together. So we will have a check on what's happened between those two drivers at the end of this race, but we'll continue to come through on the final lap of asking. It's down to 0.3 per second, but because of Pike and Oucher fighting so hard the previous couple of laps, Doble just had enough gap at the front to hold on. He just needs to keep the final two corners nice and clean here at the front of the field. Pike is pushing hard behind, is going to be going for the exit on 10. But Mikey Doble takes 2 wins in a single evening. And he takes his 3rd win of the season, just ahead of Andrew Pike, who comes in 2nd. Ben Oucher takes 3rd with Lee Horn getting a slowdown at the very end. Has to back out, giving Isaac Doble 6th position, just about ahead of, behind Lee Horn. Kieran Sharp takes home 7th. Craig Twaddock in 8th position. Nick Clibbins comes home in 9th ahead of Tom Davidson. Adam Wilson-Weir comes home 11th. Phil Duggan in 12th. Gavin Gardner in 13th ahead of Mark Hughes. Zara McGuinness came home in 15th ahead of Adam Dalmont. Alan McCain in 17th ahead of William Kirtland. Matt Gatter crosses the line just ahead of Leslie Brazil. James Parfitt comes through turn number 10 to take 21st. Michael Clough is going to take home 22nd position. Andy Outhouse is going to take home 23rd ahead of Adrian Fitch and Nigel Stock. Jamie Dory and Carl Thompson, both of them out of the race, but a 3rd win of the season for Mikey Doble, and only the 3rd driver to do so, joining the likes of Adam Dalmont and Isaac Doble. But Mikey Doble has been in a championship fight all season long with his championship rival, Jamie Dory. Dory has not had the weekend that he would have been hoping for, and he, it'll give Doble a massive points advantage and could catch Doble up towards the fight at the very front of the field. Also taking 3rd win of the season was Sam Smith in the Pro-Am field. Smith taking his 1st win of the season all the way back at Brands Hatch. He's taken 2 class victories here today, but that will be that here around the Red Bull Ring. Very quickly, let's have a look at what happened between Michael Clough and James Parfitt, because there seemed to have been something that happened between the two of these, or it looks like it may have just been it doesn't look like it was anything that happened between them, but Michael Clough certainly has had an issue. No, there was something that happened between them as Michael Clough was on the outside line there, looking to try and take the wide. I mean, he's closed completely into James Parfitt on that one. I mean, yes, Parfitt's pushed wide, but that was after the contact. I mean, Clough was already quite far behind going into the corner, and then there's been that incident. So that is a shame indeed, but that is how sometimes it falls. Right, let's see if there's anyone that I want to force into talking to me at the end of that one. And actually, we're going to catch someone who we've not spoken to this evening, that had a brilliant 3rd race of the day. Ben taking home 3rd in that one.
Yeah, that was a good result. I had a lot of fun up at the front with those boys. Always great.
You started to fight with Andrew there within the last couple of laps. It allowed Mikey to pull away. Are you fine with that? Were you having fun anyway?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've mentioned before that I'm just here for some good racing. If I'd have been with Andrew lap 7, I'd have pushed him. But it being the last couple of laps, bit of fighting, it's always entertaining. So I thought, may as well.
Well, it was a good fight up there. Obviously, it was working with Mikey and with Lee to pull yourself up into that fight for the lead. Was that something that you were communicating with in the voice chat to make sure that you were working together, not fighting each other throughout most of that race?
Yeah, we were talking to each other there. Like if in scenarios like that, if you fight with each other, you're never gonna catch the group ahead. So it's always in everyone's best interest to try and work together to close on the group ahead, and it just increases the chances of you finishing further up.
And it certainly did for you, getting yourself up all the way onto that podium, and a great result for you. I thought it could have potentially been a second win of the season, but I mean, a podium's always great as we head into the final 2 rounds at Thruxton and Mosport.
Yeah, I knew I didn't quite have the pace around here to win overall. I struggled keeping up with Andrew on that last lap or two, even with his draft. But yeah, but podium's good. Podium's really good.
Well, good luck then for round 7 at Thruxton, round 8 at Mosport as we head into the final couple of events. It is going to be a good one. As you say, it's been more for the fun than for the wins, and they are 2 circuits that are sure to invite some great fighting again.
Yeah, should be good. Thanks a lot, mate.
That was Ben Oucher there coming home in 3rd in that race, and I think that is I think it's been a very good evening of racing across the board, as we always get in the NXTGEN Racing's Mazda MX5 Cup. And once again, if you are watching over on the Facebook page, then make sure you hit the like and share the stream. Make sure you follow the page as well. If you're watching over on the YouTube, hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button. And if you hit that subscribe button, you'll be notified when NXTGEN Racing go live, which will be for the final 2 rounds of the Mazda MX5 Cup. That is next Tuesday and Tuesday the 16th of December. And then, of course, when everything kicks up again back in the new year with the Legends, with the GT3s, with the TCRs, it is going to be a great year of racing once again at NXTGEN. And if you're watching over on the Twitch page, make sure you hit that follow button as well, so you can get notified when we go live at BeehiveBillBroadcasting, which is more than just the NXTGEN leagues as well. I hope you have enjoyed the evening of racing here, because I certainly have. It has been fantastic, and I am looking forward to next week. We head across to what is dubbed the fastest circuit in the UK. It is Thruxton. It is going to be another circuit that is going to require tow, that is going to require drivers to be working together. However, unlike Monza, unlike here at Red Bull Ring, the tow is going to be happening around corners. Only 2 braking points in the Mazdas around Thruxton. That'll be turn number 3 and the final chicane. So it's going to be a lot trickier for the cars to be able to stay close together through high-speed corners in those tows. It is going to be amazing to watch. We head to Mosport on December 16th for the final round of the season. The Canadian Tire Motorsport Park is a circuit that I thoroughly enjoy, and I know the racing is going to be absolutely amazing for the final round of the season. If you want to keep up to date with all of the things NXTGEN, make sure you go across to their Discord, which is linked in the Facebook page and linked on the YouTube video in the comments as well. And you can join in the conversation, and you can also check out the points as well as all of the standings and how everything turns out. We will be back then next Tuesday for the next NXTGEN Racing Mazda MX5 Cup, while we head across to Thruxton. It's on the same time as always. So we will see you next Tuesday, and I hope you have a fantastic week ahead of you. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. My button stopped working at the very end. I'll click it over here. Goodbye, everyone.